G'day, good day to you, and how the bloody hell are ya? It is CrackAFruity, and I'm bringing you my first ever Game of the Year. Of course, it is my first ever because my channel didn't exist at the end of last year. But before I move into the actual list itself, there is a few things I feel I need to point out. First of all, yes, this video is longer than usual. I normally try to make my videos between 4 and 6 minutes. This one does go a bit longer, so please do stick it out to the end. And if you don't have time, you can always hit the watch later function on YouTube, and of course get back to the video when you do have time. But I put a load of effort into it, so if you could stick it out, that would mean a lot to me. I also just need to point out that obviously I don't get paid to put videos on YouTube. It's something I do because I enjoy doing it. It's a hobby of mine, but it means that every game I play I've had to buy out of my own pocket, and obviously I can't afford nor justify buying every game that's released, and on top of it, that's just ridiculous. Now obviously I'm not going to go through every game I didn't manage to play during 2012, but I will give you 3 that I wished I had played, I didn't get a chance to, and if one of these 3 are your game, your personal game of the year, then I do apologise, they're obviously not going to be mine. Now the first game I would like to point out is Hitman Absolution. Unfortunately I didn't get a chance to play this game. It does look pretty cool and I will almost certainly pick this up when it gets a little bit cheaper. To be honest, from what I've seen on YouTube, it doesn't look like it was probably going to be a Game of the Year contender anyway, unlike this next game of mine on the list which I haven't played, and that is Dishonored. And I kind of can't believe I haven't played this. It does look amazing and I definitely will be picking this up sometime early in the new year. Now, last game on my list is Halo 4. I'm not actually a huge Halo fan. I never really have been. Now, that's nothing against those of you who do enjoy Halo. It's just not personally my thing, so I'm probably not going to be picking this one up. Anyway, that's enough of the formalities. Let's get into this. And the first category I want to talk about is free-to-play games. Now, surely everybody loves a good free-to-play game. I know I do, because they're free, which puts them right into my price category. And what you're watching on screen there, if you're not sure what it is the runner-up for my best free-to-play game of the year, and it's called Gotham City Imposters. Now, if you're not entirely sure what Gotham City Imposters is, it's obviously just a first-person shooter. I would compare it to Team Fortress 2. In fact, I would say that they are trying to be a direct competitor of Team Fortress 2. It's pretty silly, it's pretty crazy. You got these cool grappling hooks and you can jump and fly all over the place. You got stupid outfits you can get. So anyway, you can have a load of fun with it, and if you can't be bothered with the seriousness of games like Black Ops or Battlefield or whatever the case may be, if you just feel like taking your brain out, running around and randomly shooting people, then this is a fantastic game. And as I say, it is entirely free, so if you don't have it and it's something like this interests you, do go and get it, check it out, and enjoy it. But my winner for the 2012 free-to-play Game of the Year is, of course, if you haven't already guessed by what's on screen, PlanetSide 2. Now, what I love about this game is the fact that there's an ever-ongoing war that, it never stops. It's not like a Call of Duty or Battlefield where it loads a level up, you have your battle, and everybody goes home, forgets about it, and starts again next time. No, you have one big battle that 3 armies, whichever one you've selected, is constantly fighting to try and take over or defend as much land, as much property as they possibly can. And I just think that's really cool because, your friends might log on straight after work or school and help to capture a few bases, and then you can get on after dinner and help defend them from the oncoming horde. And it's just, I think it's a fantastic concept. If your computer is good enough, you can run this on really high settings. Mine is not, it's horribly low. But if you have a nice computer, this game looks amazing. Everything about it is fantastic. I still can't believe that this game is free. It seems ridiculous to me that a game this good could be free. And if you're going to get one free-to-play game this year, this is the game you should get. Okay, now my next category is Indie Game of the Year, and the runner-up is War of the Roses. Now, I know there's going to be plenty of people out there saying, oh, Chivalry is so much better, that's the one I bought, blah, blah, blah. The reality is, I bought War of the Roses, and it's actually an enormously fun and funny game when you're on here with friends. If you're going to take it seriously, then, it's going to appeal to a certain type of person. But as far as getting on a game and just running around being an absolute tool with your mates, it's hilarious. You can have plenty of lols, and it's certainly worth a look. However, the best indie game of 2012, and this, by the way, won by an absolute country mile. There was never any doubt in my mind. In fact, this game is so good that it is a genuine contender for Game of the Year outright. The game is, of course, Journey. Now, visually, this game is stunning. The audio is amazing. Everything about this game, the way it makes you feel, it's probably more a piece of art than it is a video game. And yeah, I don't think anything has sucked me in, nothing has got me as interested as this game for a very long time. Now, if you're not sure what Journey is, it's just that, it's a journey. Basically, you spawn into the middle of a desert, some random desert, as this little bizarre little character. You don't know what it is, and you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where you're going, you get no instructions, you're just there. And you've got to figure everything out. So you just see, shapes on the horizon, you see buildings on the horizon, and you just kind of know that that's the way you've got to head. And as you head down, as I say, visually this game is amazing. And you discover things along the way, and the way you feel when you sort of first see another character, you're trying to figure out if it's a mirror image of yourself, or perhaps it's a non-playable character. But of course, when you find out it's another real player, you can't communicate in any way except for the random little bells and whistles and little songs that these things sing. So you're trying to communicate with this other person online to work together towards this objective that you don't yet know what it is. And as I say, nothing sort of gets you as interested in this game if you have a PlayStation, because it is unfortunately only available on the PlayStation Network. But if you've got a PlayStation, then absolutely get this game. It is amazing, and I know it's not going to appeal to everybody just because it's not high-paced and fast action and that sort of thing, but absolutely get this game. Anyway, I have gushed like a schoolgirl over that game plenty enough, so it's time to move on to our next category. And this category is not so positive. It is, in fact, the most disappointing game of 2012. Now, the game I'm giving runner-up to is, in fact, Diablo 3. Now, it feels bizarre to give this runner-up because I actually do enjoy Diablo 3, and I did get a lot of fun out of it, and in fact, I even rate the game fairly highly. So why am I putting it as runner-up most disappointing game of the year, I hear you ask? Well, the answer is the fact that it had so many issues when I first got it. I don't think I've ever been as frustrated with a game as I have with Diablo 3. Opening day, you weren't able to play it. The servers all crashed. The fact that you have to be online at all times is so frustrating. That it's a bullshit decision that they should have fixed straight away. The fact that PvP wasn't out and took so long before it finally became available. So long, in fact, I've never played it because by the time PvP was released for this, I'd already uninstalled the game and haven't yet gone back to do it. But the most disappointing game of 2012 is also the most predictable result of 2012. It is, of course, Medal of Honor. Now, I'm not going to go into why Medal of Honor was the most disappointing game of the year because everyone else on the internet has already done that for me. All I'm going to say is that on the review on my channel, I gave this game a 7 out of 10. Now, that is correct 50% of the time. I have since decided that that is only half right. And the reason is because when this game is good, it's a 7 out of 10. When this game is bad, it is a 4 out of 10. The game has issues that weren't fixed. They still haven't been fixed in the latest patch. It's a game that could have been so great. So many people were looking forward to it. But unfortunately, they just didn't nail it. But anyway, let's move on from this. Now, the next category is the funniest in-game quote I heard during 2012. And it does come courtesy of a friend of mine called Shep. Now, some of you may know Shep from my earlier videos. If you don't know Shep, don't bother going to his YouTube channel because he doesn't have one. Now, I'm actually going to play you the quote as I did record it. However, apologies in advance. The audio is terrible. It was recorded in mono, so you may not be able to hear, but I will recap it afterwards.
Does that happen? You take
my balls stick out the side, and I fair got a loop of microphone cord.
You nuts slipped out the side of your undies, which is
Oh,
in the couch in.
They're old Calvin Kleins. They're very comfortable. Oh,
But
they're very comfortable.
sitting on the couch in your undies, a nut pops out the side, and you got your headset cable wrapped around it.
Yes. Yes. And then I threw my head back. And it tightened like a noose.
The castrator.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
The
Just wasn't
castrator.
fucking good, alright?
Okay, if you didn't quite understand what the castrator was, Shep was sitting on the couch in his underpants, a nut popped out the side, he managed to hook a loop around that with his headset cable, and threw his head back and tightened it like a noose. And with that piece of ridiculousness out of the way, the second last category for my video is the biggest surprise of 2012. Now, what I mean by that is a game that I wasn't expecting to get, I didn't anticipate that I would like, and in the end I really enjoyed it. And that game for me is Borderlands 2. Now, just to give you a bit of background about me and Borderlands, I did play the original Borderlands, however, I just didn't like it all that much. I did pump quite a few hours into it, but something about the game just didn't gel with me. I didn't enjoy it that much. I'm not sure if, looking back now, maybe I wasn't playing it right, maybe I wasn't doing the right things. I remember it getting particularly difficult there at a stage, and I don't think it probably should have done. But anyway, when I heard Borderlands 2 was coming out, I just didn't care all that much, and it wasn't until I saw a few videos pop up on YouTube that I thought, that game actually looks pretty interesting. But it's still not good enough for me to actually race out and buy it. It wasn't until I was in my local EB Games, and it was there on special, actually quite a good discount off. They were having a daily sale. So I thought, bugger it, you know what, I will get it. And I told my mate Shep to go and get it as well. No nut incidences so far during Borderlands 2, you'll be happy to know. But I told Shep to get it, and the two of us have been smashing through this game. And it's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it a lot, and I did not expect to. So if you haven't tried out Borderlands 2, I really do encourage you to go and give it a go. Even if you can beg, borrow, buy, or steal a copy, it is better with mates. It is quite difficult solo, but if you've got a couple of friends, it'll help you get through it. The more the merrier, obviously up to a limit of 4. But yeah, anyway, check this game out. Now, the second last category for my Game of the Year video. See what I did there? See, I said the last one was the second last category, but this is the second last. I'm just making sure you're not asleep yet. Anyway, the category itself is the best first-person shooter for 2012. Now, I'm not going to include Borderlands 2 because I just talked about Borderlands 2, and even though, yes, it is a first-person shooter, it's not kind of the style that I'm talking about. I'm talking more about the Call of Duty style of things. You know what I mean. Now, obviously, Halo 4, as I mentioned at the start of the video, is not going to be part of this list because I don't have it. It's obviously not going to be Medal of Honor Warfighter because I just said that that was the most disappointing game of the year. I've also just said that Borderlands 2 is not going to be included, so that leaves a pretty short list. So short, in fact, really, we're talking about Far Cry 3 versus Black Ops 2. But the best first-person shooter of 2012 has to go to Battlefield 3. That's right, I don't even care that it wasn't released in 2012. I don't care that Black Ops 2 is perhaps the best Call of Duty since the original Modern Warfare was released. Last year I was disappointed, nay, I was horrified that Modern Warfare 3, which in my opinion is a bucket of shit, Modern Warfare 3 was given the best first-person shooter of the year. I was unaware that when choosing this, it was based on popularity, not on game itself. There is no way that Battlefield 3 should have lost that, especially to Modern Warfare 3. I felt like an injustice was served last year, and I'm here to set that right. So the best first-person shooter of 2012 is still Battlefield 3. If Mr. Random walked up to me and said, I don't have any games at all, I want you to tell me what the best first-person shooter currently is available, I would definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, still say Battlefield 3, and I think it's going to continue on until Battlefield 4 comes out. Right, but the time for mucking around is now over, and it's time to actually discuss the 2012 Game of the Year. Now, I'm not going to give any runners-up for this category, simply because there are probably too many to go through, so there's heaps of fantastic games out this year, but I would like to give an honourable mention to Assassin's Creed 3, simply because it didn't fall into any of the other categories I've already spoken of, and this really is a fantastic game, and a definite possibility for Game of the Year. I'd probably give it an easy 9 out of 10, and if you're wondering whether or not you should bother getting it, if you enjoyed any of the prior Assassin's Creeds, then you will definitely like this one. And if you've never tried it before, this is a fantastic place to start. They're introducing a new character. They did a great job of doing that. I do like this guy. I wasn't sure how I'd go losing Ezio, but yeah, bringing Connor into it. I like Connor. He's a great guy. It's a fantastic game. And get this game, get it in your system, and enjoy it. Now, with that done, there is only one more thing to discuss. That, of course, is the actual Game of the Year. And that Game of the Year is... Well, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have... Nah, I'm just joking. The Game of the Year is... Can I have a drum roll, please? That is a horrible drum roll. Anyway, the winner is... DayZ! Yes, even though this game is of course a mod, it's not a full release title, and although the full release title was meant to be coming out before the end of this year, it unfortunately didn't. It doesn't matter, the mod itself is a real game changer. Basically, this particular mod is going to change the way designers and developers think about how they do games. Conceptually, DayZ is absolutely brilliant. I just love the way that you can either choose to team up with a random person or you can shoot him in the face, and I just love how this game has developed as well. Really, you get to make all the decisions yourself. There are very few in-game restrictions to what you can do. Obviously, it's glitchy and there's plenty of bugs. As I say, it is only a mod, and the standalone game will hopefully fix a lot of that. I'm looking forward to that amazingly. But yeah, just the way this game has developed over time. I once read an article where Rocket said when he originally released this game on a local New Zealand server, basically what people were doing, they were actually going out and getting equipment, setting up this equipment on the beach, that sort of thing, so that when new spawns come in, they're able to gear up straight away and they can all fight together to help hold off the zombies. And it's kind of gone from that, from being this big group team-based thing, all the way through to a point where you can now team up with 20 of your best buddies in a clan or whatever, set up a big base, defend the base. It's all about PvP now, and the zombies, if anything, are more of an annoyance than anything, which has paved the way for things like Wasteland, which is what you can currently see on your screen now. And Wasteland's another amazingly fun mod, that sort of thing. But anyway, it's going to go to DayZ, so if you haven't already got this, if you haven't got Arma 2, it is worth getting. I don't know when the standalone is going to be released. I don't have those details on me at the moment. But when the standalone comes out, definitely get that. As I say, this is a game changer. And even if you never end up playing any DayZ in your life, it's going to affect games in the future. And I think that reason alone, the fact that it's such a game changer, is the very reason why DayZ is the game of the year. Okay, now if you've stuck the video out this far, first of all, thank you very much for doing so. It does mean a lot. I know it has been a long video, but I've pumped a load of effort into this video. I'm not even going to own up to how many hours it's taken to do this, but let's just say an entire evening / night basically has been taken up to create this video. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please remember to give it a like. It helps me out an absolute shitload. And also, I think for the first time ever, I've never asked for it before, but if you enjoyed it, please do add it to your favourites as well, and share it with your friends. Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. Anything you can would be much appreciated. Obviously, I'm a fairly new channel, trying to get going, and I appreciate all the subscribers I have, but I'm trying to build that base up. So again, if you could do that, that would be fantastic. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all my existing subscribers, from the original right through to the current one. It's been a hell of a year. I've learnt a lot, and hopefully in 2013 I can continue to entertain you, bring you these games, and continue to grow within my channel as well. Anyway, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. As I say, remember to like, favourite, subscribe, share, all those wonderful things. And also, have a fantastic New Year's, and I'll speak to you in 2013.